Another night has ended.
You know, we were going to do an intro, but you know what?
Shuffled
I decided we're
out.
not going to do an intro, and I'm going to tell you why.
Two
Hold on a
guys
second,
at the
kill the song.
end
That was Tables
of
and
the
Chairs,
bar
by the way. And you know
throw
what? This is
their
the guy
last
wrote it right here.
buds down.
This is the guy.
Smoky
and this
haze
is
is
Mark Allen
lifted.
Barnette. He is Mr. Nashville.
Work lights have come
Okay.
on.
I answered anything. It's fine.
Now
really?
I'm
Yeah.
packing
All right,
up
hold on.
this old guitar
Okay, that's off. Good.
and
Good,
headed
good.
home
All right,
alone.
cool. All right. So it is. What is it? Saturday night, right?
It is Saturday
okay,
night.
It's the weekend, Memorial Day weekend. We just
That's
got done doing one. There goes Mark right there from Iron Gate. This is really cool. We're back at the Starstruck Farm. Tonight we're doing a writer singer round. What are we going to call this thing?
Writers in the round.
Writers in the
so
round. Okay.
Three writers.
So you've been doing this forever, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is cool. So let's start off. This is Marc Allen Barnette. Now, I put the names down here last minute because I just grabbed them as fast
I
as
like you
could.
being me. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, well, you know, we got that. So I'm Chris Anthony. This is Marc Allen Barnette. And you've been doing this for how long now?
I've been 50 years total.
50 years.
Yeah, I started
Okay.
in 74. And then I've been in Nashville for 37 years.
37 years. Wow, that's great. Yeah, because I mean, I hear your name everywhere. I'm at the NSA. I hear, Marc Allen Barnette. So, okay, so we just played one of your songs, Tables and Chairs, right? Did I say it right?
Yeah.
And so, okay, let's go back to your history. You're originally from Birmingham,
I am.
right? Alabama?
Yep.
So, all right, Crimson Tide and all that kind
Crimson
of good stuff.
Tide, yeah.
Sweet
And
Home
I had a rock career. I was in a band called 24 Karat, and we were in Birmingham. Grew up kind of doing that.
Right.
Won a big nationwide battle of the bands, kind of the Voice, American Idol of its day,
Right.
in 1984.
Yeah, that's
And
cool.
then we did what all bands do when they win something big, they break up. So that's what brought me to Nashville.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Wow, that's great. So when did you come here in Nashville originally?
April Fool's Day, 1988.
Wow, you remember it.
Yeah.
April Fool's
Oh
Day.
yeah,
Wow.
it was a Friday. I can tell you exactly. I can tell you everything about it. But yeah,
Wow,
yeah.
really? Is that your memory, or just because
No,
it was such a significant
it was
day?
it was a significant thing because I had planned it. I had started planning about January. I never even thought about Nashville. I was thinking going to Los Angeles,
Really?
and because of the band I was in. But music changed. The music that we had done, which was kind of the Journey, Loverboy era of the '80s rock, changed kind of the darker, the Seattle grunge,
Oh, yeah,
the
Nirvana,
more hip hop,
yeah,
all
Pearl
that.
Jam. I
That was
gotcha.
not me. Country at the same time was evolving into people like Exile in Alabama, Lee Greenwood, and some really, really cool things. And I thought I came to Nashville and so this is great. And I moved April Fool's Day.
So so did you end up on Music Row, or is that, or?
Yeah, I did. I wrote for a number of publishers. I wrote for a publishing company called Best Built Songs for a while. And then I've got, what you do is you write with all these different people on Music Row.
Right.
And so you end up with songs all over the place. Like
Sure.
MCA and Universal, I got songs all over the place.
Yeah.
And I had a writing deal for 10 years. And for the last 20 years, I've been teaching songwriting and performance. And I'm kind of like a coach, like a sports coach.
Oh,
I
cool.
do that with songwriters.
So you're like a life music coach.
Yes,
All
exactly.
right, cool. So, and we're gonna let you tell people how to
Sure.
connect with you.
Okay.
You know, and you know, I tell everybody, I always say these things, like, you know, we're not only live, but later on we're going to be. These are like living recordings, because if somebody has a question today, tomorrow, next
Sure.
week, you can see it, you can answer it via
That's right.
YouTube, Facebook, and I'll share it to you, the links and everything. And so anyway, okay, so you came from Birmingham, 1980, April Fool's Day. You switched from the rock,
From rock to more country. Country rock, country blues.
Okay, so we're keeping everybody up
Mhm.
to speed. And okay, you played with all these different record labels.
Mhm.
I'm familiar with all of them,
Yep.
being a DJ.
Yep. You know,
And I think that I know that the music started changing over the last several years.
Oh, yeah.
I know Nashville is all of a sudden, like, it hit like a speed bump, went into a time,
Yeah.
I don't know, like a warp or whatever. But so you've actually seen all the different changes, the old Nashville, the new Nashville, you're combining kind of different things. Is there a
That's right.
particular genre or style of Nashville that you really prefer?
Well, yeah, I came with my music when I came here. I called it In Your Face Country Soul. And the big song that I had that was like a barn burner, everybody knew me by it. It was called Can't Blame Nobody But Me. Well, you fast forward about 30 years later, and Chris Stapleton starts out singing, sounding like what I was doing then. And his song was Nobody to Blame But Me. So it's kind of, this is what, but I've been like that. And it's just, you got a lot of people doing things. Some people, the breaks work, some people don't.
Mhm.
I've seen very, very talented people with everything that just doesn't happen.
Mhm.
For me, I was lucky enough to kind of see things coming. I was 28 years old when I moved here, which is already a little older for that. And so I'm morphed more into a songwriter. I got a cut my first night in town. A girl named Shelby Lynn cut one of my songs.
Wow.
And so all of these things, as you see it coming, you kind of morph into other things. And then over the last, actually 24 years now, from 2000, I've been a teacher. So I'm working with people, still doing the same thing, still performing, but I work more with other people and their dreams than my own.
Mhm.
And at the same time, my dreams get realized.
Wow.
So
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
an
yeah, yeah.
interesting thing.
That's great. That's wow. That's a nice evolution, and to give back while you're,
That's right.
you've
That's
tasted
right.
every faction of success and the different curvatures of where this was going.
Right.
There was no point A to point B.
No.
It was all over.
It's all over.
all over the place.
A career is never in a straight line. It goes all over.
You have a catchphrase about music. What is that?
It's you don't choose music, music chooses you.
Right.
And I wrote that with a guy in California, Stephen J. Fisher, attorney at law. I always have to say that.
Mhm.
And we were just writing a song, that just kind of took shape very quickly, about 20 minutes. And that line, you don't choose music, music chooses you, is in the song Tables and Chairs that you just played.
Wow.
But I had something that happened to it. I never realized this. People come up and they'll quote their occupations in it. You don't choose teaching, teaching chooses you. You don't choose trucking, trucking chooses you. You don't nursing. And so it has this thing, it's about perseverance.
Yes.
We all get knocked down. You've been through it. We all get knocked down. We get rearranged. It's about getting back up and continuing to go. And that's so you don't choose whatever you do. It chooses you, and hopefully it chooses well, and you just continue going forward.
Wow. Yeah, that's what brought me to Nashville.
Yep.
Right during COVID. I had to come back, and I said, I just got my truck, and then I was on my birthday, and
Right.
I ended up at Winners first, and then I said, "Where do you?" And I called my buddies from iHeartRadio, and they said, "Where do I go?" And my buddy, who's a big country radio DJ, he says, "You got to go to Bluebird Cafe."
That's exactly right.
I call up, no, it's sold out. I tell my friend, "You know what? We're 10 miles away. Get in the car. We're going." I get there. This big guy standing at the door. I go, "Is it sold out?" He goes, "It's been sold out." He goes, "It's a great show. Tony Arata, Leslie Satcher, Roger Cook,
Right.
this other kid. I don't know his name." And I said, he goes, "Where are you from?" I go, "Detroit." And he goes, "Hold on a minute." He got me a seat right by
That's so good.
And it was one of the best shows I've ever seen.
Absolutely.
And it was great. And I had to come back.
Right.
And I had to come back. And that's exactly what I did. So the perseverance aspect of it, and to have, somebody like you that's been through it all and, come here and now you're mentoring
Right.
and coaching
Yep.
and doing all these amazing things for songwriters. Because I've seen songwriters, you said you were 28 and you felt like it was kind of like old hat or over the
Right.
hill or whatever. And but I've met songwriters that are like almost 100.
Right.
No,
That's true. That's true.
And it keeps them alive.
It keeps them alive. And I have a lot of great friends. I've been fortunate enough to write with some of those people, the legends, people with Grammy Awards, people with top 10s, top number ones. And they always have this attitude that they just seem to ride over anything. They just can just absorb whatever goes on, and they just keep going. And then again, it's the perseverance. You just got to keep going.
I think music does include that, but it also, I think if you can write a song, it's a living legacy in an extension of somebody's mind, heart,
Right.
soul, whatever.
Right.
I mean, it really is. What else can you do like that? You could have all these possessions, but nobody's going to remember for you what you
That's right.
owned.
That's
But
right.
if you turn on the radio or whatever and you go, wow, there's that song.
Right.
And you got to be like ecstatic that you have this catalog of music and history.
Yeah.
And you're able to reach back and go, I did this with so-and-so. And these different.
Rarely does a few days go by that someone doesn't send me an email or a phone call. Now,
Sure.
Your song got me through the death of my wife. Your song got me through
Absolutely.
the worst part of my time. You got me through cancer. When people do that, you go, okay, this is bigger than just songs. This
Sure.
is pieces of life. And you know what you're looking for with your audience?
Yes.
You're looking for two reactions. Number one is, oh my God, that's my life. Or number two, oh my God, that's my life. And I never thought of it like that. And if you have that, people, when we all listen to songs, we can hear ourselves in the songs. Songs are the mirror of the soul, and we hear ourselves in there. And that's what you're trying to do as a songwriter, put your audience into the song.
you have so much passion and compassion for whatever, you know. I saw something in it real quick because I read super fast,
Right.
and I go, and it's just about, you know, dynamic and energy and this and that, and your name was like underneath or
That's
above it.
it.
And I'm like, this is the guy right here. So
I try.
do you need a coffee?
Nah, this is normal for me.
Wow, yeah, you just puts the key in the ignition and hits.
That's right.
Like if it's a stick shift, you're in fourth gear,
I'm
right?
in fourth gear in a Ferrari.
In a
Absolutely.
Ferrari, right? Oh
That's
man,
it.
this is great stuff. Wow. How much time do you have? I want to make sure you're not late for the.
I got to make sure. Yeah, I'm listening up. Make sure that I call my name. I
Yeah.
think it'll get it.
See, now
a
it's-
couple minutes.
Okay, cool. Because this is your show. This is the
Yeah.
Mark Allen Barnette
Yeah,
show, right? Okay. So I want you to, you know, if we skip a thing, I can do this from anywhere.
Sure.
I can remote, and
Yeah.
you can do it. You know,
Yeah.
whatever. I mean, we're just making this bigger and
Mhm.
better, and all that
Right.
kind of stuff.
That's right.
You know, we just Iron Gate teamed up, you know, and
Yes.
we're doing this, and I'm glad that we are doing this because I've heard your name bounced around so many different places, and we never actually met.
Right.
And I probably was gonna, I was gonna go to this place, and you know, all these different. What's your favorite right around location?
Well, there is no other like the Bluebird. Okay, you know the Bluebird.
I was just told that. I
I
agree with that.
just did my 200th show at the Bluebird.
Did you
Yeah.
really?
In 37 years, I've been there.
I love the
200 times.
Bluebird.
I've been to Washington D.C. for the Bluebird. I have been to Belgium for the Bluebird. I've done shows all over as a representative of the Bluebird.
Yeah.
And I've been in some of the most electric moments you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah.
And I was asked by someone did a radio interview yesterday, and she had asked, you know, basically the same thing, asking about the barn here, you know,
Yeah.
where we are now. And there are things like the Bluebird for songwriting, the Grand Ole Opry, the Ryman for country singing.
Yep.
This place has the same kind of vibe.
That's how I got here.
That's right. Yeah. And so that's the thing about Nashville. It's little moments of history that when you're there, you just feel the whole vibe through you
Sure,
of all
sure.
of the history. I
Right.
mean, this is Reba's place, and it's been around, you know,
Right.
for forever. And I love this location.
And I hear that a lot. And it was funny because City Boy, a friend of mine, came and brought me here. In fact, his other friend came here, and he just passed. He was on the American Idol, and one of the
Okay.
top 10 guys. And they said, you got to come check this place. We have a McIntyre on 45 acres, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
You know, I'm a city boy, but I love Nashville. And I've been to all these different places, Franklin and this place and this
Right,
place.
right.
I've been everywhere at Clarksville.
I got you. Okay.
You know,
Okay.
and I said, this place is there's something else
That's right.
that Nashville needs. And I
Yeah.
think that this place is going
I
to be
think
that.
you're right. Yeah.
And it's going to have the essence and flavors of the Bluebird
Yeah.
Cafe. Because I mean, I love it. In fact, I got a Bluebird thing. I got the
Right.
Bluebird T-shirt.
There you go. Yeah.
And I got it all. I love that place, you know. And it's all these old 8x10s on the wall, you know, right?
They replaced me.
Did they
Yeah,
really?
I'll tell you what, they had this television show.
Not Jelly Roll.
They had this television show,
Right.
which was Nashville.
I remember.
My picture used to be as you go to the restroom.
Right.
There's a mirror there
Sure.
and paper towels. That's where my picture used to be. They
Really?
they replaced me with a paper towel dispenser.
It's funny. I have a friend that I met, you know, through a Universal songwriting thing.
Right.
His name's Andrew Rollins.
I know him. I know.
Oh, you know,
him.
yeah, because he wrote songs for
yeah,
Nashville,
yeah.
right? Because I was working, and he's always telling me, "Oh yeah, I'm best friends with you know,
Right,
first
right.
met with Randy Jackson, and
Right,
all that, right. You know, American Idol, and
That's
Germany,
right.
and all that kind
Yeah.
of stuff. So I'm always listening to all kinds of
Right.
music. I mean, from you name it, nightclub to deep country, Alabama.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
Oh, yeah.
I play country bars too.
I believe you.
You know, and Mel Tillis. I mean, you know, and everybody. You think of Alan Jackson. Who's your? I'm gonna ask you a couple of real quick questions. Who was your favorite like artist back then that inspired you? Because you know, there's like, you know, those kind of artists, like you
Mhm.
said, like Hank Williams Jr. and all that. That's a
Yeah.
Kid Rock kind of guy.
Hank was a big one. Yeah. And my biggest influence of all was Ray Charles.
Ooh,
And that's why my
wow,
music was
that's a
in your
good
face
one.
country soul.
Yeah.
And so Ray Charles has been the biggest influence. And again, what is interesting between when I moved to town, Delbert McClinton was huge, T. Graham Brown was huge, and I was seen by a guy from Warner Brothers. He said, "Man, I love everything about you. I love your voice. I love your songs, everything, the soulful thing." But I was in Marietta, Georgia 3 weeks ago, and I signed a guy just like you. His name is Travis Tritt. And so I've always been almost there, you know?
Wow.
But this is just what happens, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
And so it's hard to have one thing. I think if it were a band and a sound, the Eagles, and if it were one guy, Ray Charles. and that would just be my biggest influence.
And then you mentioned, Marietta, Georgia. So I mean, that's the first song that came to mind of him. Georgia.
That's right. Yeah, Georgia. Yeah. I actually opened for Atlanta Rhythm Section a few weeks ago.
Oh, wow,
and we
really?
did Georgia on stage.
Wow.
It's the state song of Alabama. So yeah,
Boy, a lot of those 70s. I've met so many 70s bands. I'm friends with the guys from The Sweet.
Oh,
from
yeah.
Step. Now you
Yeah.
got Planet,
Yeah.
Oh my, that's amazing. Yeah, they came back.
Right.
They came back.
Well, people have been listening to their music. Younger people really gravitate to the music of the 70s and the 80s,
Absolutely.
and so it's kind of a really cool thing.
Well, that's kind of the formula of Broadway, because most of those, they're doing a lot of cover songs
That's
with that genre. Not even as country as
Yeah.
much. It's mostly,
Yeah, right.
I mean, I think the closest I seen was Leonard Skinner. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Or whatever, but it's not. They're not playing.
Well, Dolly's got a musical coming out next year.
Oh yeah, she
Yeah.
just had a new ride
That's
to a park today. I think.
That's
Didn't she?
That's right.
Huh? When's she gonna stop?
She never.
What is she, almost 80
She's
years old?
amazing. She's past
She's
80.
my hero.
She's gorgeous. She's amazing. That's an inspiration.
Yeah.
too.
It's
It's hard not to be inspired.
No, I was a fan of hers since Here We Go Again. Remember that song?
Oh, sure.
Yeah, that's a great.
Working 9 to 5, like a woman.
I love that song. Yeah, in fact,
Yes, it's
yeah. They, I think what's his name? Dobby Colton just died from that movie.
That's right.
You
That's
know what I
right.
mean?
Oh, God,
See how we are? We're
Yeah.
just throwing all
So
kinds of trivia out.
You know the Kevin Bacon thing, 6 degrees of separation.
Yeah, yeah,
In
yeah.
Nashville, you're 2 degrees of separation from everybody.
Yeah,
You'll
yeah,
find you have a connection with everybody.
You know what? I hope that we, we have this connection for a long time,
Absolutely.
because we're on the cusp of making this thing bigger. Because
Yeah.
I'm not, I was a computer guy, a DJ. I'm also a songwriter.
Sure.
But I also know that, because people ask me about AIs all the time,
Right.
and I'm going, you know what? I don't use AIs that come out of my head. I
Right.
just don't. I don't mind using them to find out like how to clean a pan or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
But I don't. I go, if it didn't come out of me, then I don't want to know.
That's, me too.
You know what I mean? I mean,
Yeah.
it's okay to look at a dictionary or something like that, right? Or a thesaurus. But
Yeah.
I also, the same thing with like the streaming aspect. I know that the NSAI was really against,
Yeah.
Spotify. I've never put anything on Spotify.
Right.
Never.
Right.
I just haven't. And if you have it, it's great. But I think that there's a way to reach the audience and create your own audience bigger than,
Yeah.
and I think that's going to be the next thing.
What I think we are all involved in now is what I call niching, finding a niche and constantly expanding. that
Same
niche.
thing.
And
Yeah.
that's basically where we all are. Yeah. We're on the same.
Yeah,
page.
we're on the same path. Because I think they're going to call it portal or dimensional or something. I'm just
Yeah.
throwing out words.
No, that's right.
You know what I mean? Because I think there's no way that, there's people that have bought albums that, my cousin was into rock and roll, but he bought the Bee Gees for 2 songs.
Sure.
And he still loves the Bee Gees to this
Yeah.
day, 50 years
Yeah.
later, but he's a Van Halen guy.
Right.
He's heavy metal rock. But man, he'll tell you. And it made me think that everybody out there is going to buy a song or an album back. We were forced to buy a
Mhm.
song or an
Right.
album without
Right.
maybe the 45.
Yeah.
Where, you could have 100 genres in your catalog.
That's right.
Not just country, not just rock, but anything. And I think that the new audience that's going to be out there.
Mhm.
So it's not for naught that you are doing what you're doing to
Yeah.
create and keep the passion going.
Right.
As a kid, I used to go, man, they're going to run out of notes and
Yeah.
words and right. I mean, there's only 8 notes on a piano.
Well, do you know,
In
in the late 1800s, they were talking about just shutting down the copyright office, the patent office, because they thought everything had been invented. So
I heard that.
yeah, they could change it. You could change it.
Yeah.
God. Well, this is a lot of fun.
I know you gotta go.
think I'm gonna have to go, but
Yes.
I would say www.musicchoosesyou. And my name's Marc Allen Barnett, MarcAllenBarnette.
Did I get it right?
There's an E wrong. There's an ALAN actually.
Oh, LAN.
That's okay.
I was
That's all
typing
right.
really fast. My
Yeah,
bad.
That's
I'll
all right.
fix it. I'll
We've
fix
got
it.
a lot going on.
Yeah, in fact, I thought it was going to. I was just glad I got him because
I just want you to know we got the memo how to dress.
we got the bling, right? And we're dressed in black.
That's
The Johnny
exactly
Cash.
right.
Well, it's a Memorial Day.
Yes, right.
Right,
Yeah.
right. So
Great
to
weekend,
the troops,
Memorial
right?
Yeah.
Wow, thank you very
Thank
much.
you, buddy.
And you know what? If you ever want to come on, I can do this.
Okay.
If you got to come back, if you want to
Sure.
promote anything, I even will put it up there because
Yeah.
we're getting more and more people involved in
Great.
this with from different factions.
Love to.
I'll
I'll bring a guitar in and play something for you.
that would be
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Yes. Wow. And if you want to talk to him, you go to his website.
Yep.
If you're in Nashville, where can we see you at?
God, got a Bluebird show coming up in June. But I'm a lot of times at the Commodore,
I've heard of it,
which is in town because
Yes.
I play kind of regularly there.
Yeah.
And I'm just all over. You go to Music Chooses You, and you'll find me.
Absolutely.
If you, as you've learned, if you can't find me in Nashville, you're not looking very hard because you run into me everywhere.
I hear his name like every day. every day. I hear, I mean, it's just crazy.
I'm the Nashville equivalent of Bigfoot. I think I've seen him. I saw some blurry pictures of him somewhere.
Yeah, no, you're handsome than compared to
Thank you.
the thing we've never found yet, I guess. Okay, well, listen, I want to let you go.
Yeah.
If I've missed anything, you can
We'll
always come
do,
back.
we'll do it again.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you, my friend.
God
Appreciate
bless you, man.
Thank you, guys.
Great. Wow. So that was awesome. Mark Allen Barnette. I'm going to fix the spelling on there. I hope you guys have a great night. And who knows, man? This is the beautiful thing about it. I can do it anytime, anywhere, for as long as I want. And this guy is like Nashville royalty as well. And I don't know. And it's actually really hot out here today. It's hot out here, isn't it, Michael? Michael? I call him Michael because it's a long story. I got my producer in the back over there. He's taking pictures and doing all kinds of stuff. You ready for a good night? All right, he's fist bumping. We're gonna eat too because they already ate. Is this still up? Anyway, be good to yourself no matter where you are in the country. If you're from America, honor your troops, and if you got people in serving out there or have served, Nash Talk recognizes that, and we just want you to have a great night and be safe. All right, and anywhere in the world, same thing. Peace. Oh wow!
There's what I do. And here you go.
Look at that. Oh, hold on, let me turn this one up. There we go. Look at that.
Perfect.
See now, there you go. There's the correct spelling right there. Got that? There you go. That's how we're gonna end the show right there. Thank you guys. Have a great night.